Welcome to Art Snack for Kids. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Kyle.
And today we're talking about this mask, which is in the museum's Masks exhibition. It's called Expedition by Suzanne Wilson. So what I like about this mask is it looks kind of watercolory, and it also has some animals in it. What animal do you see in there, Twyla?
Fish.
Some fish. So I thought before we get started, I wanted to show you some artists that work with watercolor and with fish. The first piece I wanted to show is this one. It's by Georgia O'Keeffe and it's called Sunrise. What do you think about this one, Twyla? Do you have any thoughts?
I think that it's definitely watercolor and that you can tell that it's wet brush technique because the pigment goes into other pigment and it looks exactly like a sunrise.
What's wet brush technique?
It means that the pigment goes in the other pigment.
Right.
And it's wetter.
Right, because you got water on the paper already. Correct. And I like how vivid it is. Georgia O'Keeffe likes to use lots of bright colors. The next one I wanted to talk about is a piece that has lots of fish in it. 100 fish to be exact. This is by Bruce Nauman and it's called 100 Fish Fountain. What's cool about this one is the fish are in the air, but they kind of also look like they're in the water. And if you go online and Google this piece, you can see a video of it and you can hear the sounds of the water dripping. Pretty cool, huh? And the last one I wanted to talk about is pretty special. This is Thomas Moran's Jupiter Terrace. Now, Jupiter Terrace is in Yellowstone National Park, and Thomas Moran was sent to Yellowstone to paint lots of the interesting and amazing things that are there. Why do you think he was sent to paint there, Twyla?
Probably because cameras weren't invented yet and they needed proof that everyone was saying how beautiful Yellowstone was true.
Right, that's right. So pretty cool. They sent an artist, and he brought with him some watercolors. Why do you think he would have brought watercolors with him?
Because watercolors have very vivid colors, they're portable, and he wouldn't run out of water.
That's true. So the cool part of this story is he did all these paintings. He did hundreds of paintings. He brought them back to Washington, D.C., showed them to the Congress people and the senators, and they were like, of course, Yellowstone needs to be a national park. So it became our first national park. So that's a story about how an expedition by an artist gave us our first national park. Pretty cool, huh? So speaking of expeditions, let's go back to Suzanne Wilson's artwork called Expedition. And what Twyla and I are gonna do, we're gonna do some watercolor. We might do a little wet brush technique, we might do a little dry, but let's just get started. Now, if you don't have watercolors at your house, you can also use markers and put water on top of them after you put it on. You could also use food coloring will work as watercolors as well. So what we're gonna do is I'm kind of doing the dry brush technique where you just do a little puddle in the watercolor, and then that gives you kind of a nice vivid color. That's probably a lot of what Georgia O'Keeffe was doing, right? But if you look at this piece, the Expedition mask, she has a lot of kind of lighter colors. So the way you get that, there's a couple ways. First of all, you just put a ton of water in something, and then it kind of makes the pigment disperse, see, like that. Or you can kind of make the paper wet. With these paper plates, it's a little difficult, but we'll try. So I'm gonna put purple on there and see how it kind of goes through that whole puddle part. So, and then you can also take water and just put between, and then some of the pigment comes out and it spreads together like that Georgia O'Keeffe painting we were looking at. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make my fish kind of orangey red. So I'm gonna put lots of water in there. Uh-oh, it's kind of more pink than it is orangey, but that's okay. And see how I'm gonna just make kind of a really simple fish and fill that in with some water. What are you doing, Twyla? You want to talk about how you're doing it?
I'm going to just kind of make what looks like a wind and do like leaves going in the wind.
So what's neat about watercolor is you can either fill in the whole thing or you can leave what's called negative space, where the background just becomes part of the painting. So if you look at the mask, she has some parts where she left a little bit of negative space, and you can see the white of the mask, because all the masks start out white. They're a white porcelain kind of color. It's a stoneware. And so they all start off white. So all the masks that you've seen through this whole series started out white, and everybody started with the same one. So it was kind of like a blank canvas. So some of the artists decide to just paint on it like it were a canvas, and some of the artists decide to actually put faces on it and make it like a real mask, even though you can't really see through it like you would like a Halloween mask. So you might not see these particular pieces get finished all the way like you have in the past, but just know that kind of you can keep working on them, and as the artist, you decide when you're done, okay? And it's up to you because it's your artwork. And of course, we always love to see your artwork. You guys have sent so many neat ones in of past art snacks. So send it into the museum, info@fcmoa.org. Okay. All right, Twyla, let's start wrapping it up at a place where we can put them on our face and show everybody what we did, okay?
Okay.
Maybe a couple more. And what's neat with watercolors, you can really get wavy. You can really make it look pretty cool. Okay, ready to show them, Twyla?
Almost. Some leaves.
Okay, so that's our MOA Art Snack for kids this week. Join us next week for another mask project. Thanks.